on the bomb site, it's a lot easier to hold it.
Really quickly, gents, one-word answers. How does this go? Is it a 9-0 or paiN victory?
paiN train. Yeah, I'm taking paiN.
There we go. They are not divided. The boys agree paiN can claim this and possibly claim a spot at the Shanghai Major. It's time to get into game. Jackie and Vince are with us now.
Anything but a painful segment when we've got you three on screens, guys. It's always exciting, but of course paiN will be in the server, Vince, and it's going to be very fun to see which one of these two teams is locking it in today here at the Americas RMR. If there was a reason to get up bright and early, this game would be it for me, bud.
It is such a fun game on paper. Yes, 9Z have been a little bit shaky as of late. We've also seen paiN have their slips and slides, their ups and downs. So I do think, though, as they touched on with the desk, that there is definitely an advantage when it comes to the map veto here for paiN. They have pretty much every map they play, barring Ancient, which they just got rid of immediately. Interestingly enough, when we cast them yesterday, they played Ancient. So it's just very powerful veto for paiN. And you were just discussing before how 9Z have been struggling on Mirage as of late.
Yeah, man, it is the loss streak, Vince. That's what's scary about it, right? The sheer quantity of maps they've lost in a row on this one. Well, we'll see if it'll affect things here, if they're able to start the day off with a better result, and one that'll get them into the groove of things. We'll dial in for now. First round is live. It's paiN Gaming over on the T side and 9Z being your CTs. You got two sets of Julies to work with and a flashbang in the back pocket for big IGL Max, whereas for paiN, right now, they're setting themselves up for a play down through mid. Martinez, fires off the rattling shot spins. Lux opens it up with a Glock. Back at the bomb site, Buddha, can he deal damage?
Not just yet. Smoke in his eyes, but they have lost Lux, which is going to be a contingent for the flank that's been sent packing. DG team, the meanwhile, laying it down and denying this bomb plant for that a little bit longer. The T's can't quite manage to close the gap, but now Snow from the back is going to be trying to strike in, and it's down to the brains himself of Big Azera. Had a bit of a slow tournament and not picking up pace just now. Max with 2 alongside DGT, and 9Z claim the first round. It was looking a little bit scary for a few moments, though.
It was. There was some opening shake, but they're able to reset things, keep it calm, and pick that one up. So pistol in the back pocket. It was this as well, the spam shots through the smoke. You're thinking that maybe one of them would connect. Instant snap back, put him down his grave. At least they get the ball rolling early. 9Z taking that pistol round. They're straight back into the second. Obviously cash flow not going to be there for paiN. Big Azera does opt to grab himself a deagle. Looks for an opening pick towards the back of B initially. No pain, no gain. But won't find anything for that one. Can instantly posture off. Shows a little bit of pressure. Plants a seed of doubt. We'll see if it starts to grow.
Not too much moisture in the air for the time being here over on Mirage, but paiN to try and spill some blood with those Glocks. They all move together through on the ramp side. Martinez up close with his MP9. Huazo Peak also can turn his attention over onto this side as soon as the first bullets get spit down towards the T's. But it's Big Azera. The one Glock they had in hand, and it has rattled the dome of Martinez. Still plenty of time on the clock as well. They don't have to fully commit behind this one. But that's leaving Huazo Peak in a bit of an awkward position. He's not sure if they're going to come through that smoke. So he's trying to watch 2 separate angles at once. paiN have caused a little bit of suffering early on, but it's unlikely they'll be able to build off the back of this one, Jack. He's still just that deagle in play. They haven't managed to pick up the MP9 as of yet.
Huazo Peak underneath the balcony. He's waiting for the run out. Catwells is able to get his hands on the MP9, clearing towards Sandwich as he runs on out. Oh, the flick back around is actually pretty meaty, and that gives them more stock into this one. Max trying to get a look into the back of the bomb site. Peppers some damage out, sets it up for potentially Buddha to make the big plays. Bold moves from Snow, re-aggresses onto CT, grabs another weapon, and they're in a good spot in the post plant. 2v2.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy they're even in this position in the first place. A deagle with 4 Glocks, executing with no utility. Huazo Peak had a nightmare. And with no kit between the two of them, they have to get on that bomb soon. paiN Gaming just playing the time. playing possum. Now they have picked up the kick. Gonna go for the full defuse, but there it's Goaz. Sprays down DGT, and that should be the round on top of it. As Buddha's stuck between two awkward positions, goes in and falls to Snow's hand. paiN have snatched that round away with a deagle.
And now get ready for this. You know Snow is going to be going absolutely wild. And it'll be the sort of energy that they'll need to bring out into a game like this. We'll catch it on the replay, I'm sure. If not this time, it'll be all throughout the series. They get very excited, and it's always fun to watch. This is a round that would give you a fair bit of energy. Like you said, Bud, you're going into that with hardly anything, right? Just the deagle in the hands of Big Guzera. Canids finds himself the MP9 and absolutely blessed with a weapon. Divine stuff. Pull it off in the 2v2. Here it is. Man, I love it so much. It's actually so fun watching Snow. Actually, you know what? It's just no fun watching the entire team of paiN. The whole camp goes off.
Yeah, NQZ's just as loud as Snow, if not more so. But it's great to see this young 17-year-old really capturing his dream, playing at the top levels of Counter-Strike. And again, this is a progression match. You qualify for the Major if you win the series. He's potentially just an hour or two away from securing his spot at the Shanghai Major. And what a horrible start, by the way, for Nouns. It doesn't really get much worse than that. You win the pistol, you then effectively have to deal with a deagle and Glocks, you lose, and now your economy is straight up in the bin. They have got that first pick, but Quaz is quick to make the most of the flashed-up Buddha, who falls by himself. And now the bomb starting to transfer across towards this site. Going to be planting in amongst all of the smoke. A clean retake wouldn't be required here from Nouns if they're going to pick this one up, and they've decided they don't really want any part of it. They're going to save these weapons instead. Makes a lot of sense. So 2-1 to paiN, hot off the back of that tactical timeout so early on in our progression matchup.
It's a great draw as well. A matchup that should be pretty exciting based off previous results that we've seen between these two teams. In the head-to-head over the course of 2024, it's been 4 matchups that they played. paiN, they lead that in the total tally. 3-1 in the best of 3s that they played, winning the last 2 of them. Back at the dash-up, Belgrade event, Season 2. paiN took that as a 2-0, and IEM Cologne as well, winning that one 2-1 to eliminate Nouns from the event. So there's been some beef between these two teams, and it's why it should be quite explosive over the course of this BO3. For paiN, you come out swinging early, though. And it really was that big reset round, right? One deagle in the hands of Big Guzera. MP9 makes a world of difference, and it's led us to this territory. 2-1 split, Nouns, still no cash to work with. You go for the scout pickup on Martinez. He can make some big moves. If you get some tags in with the 5-7s, there's room to convert with the scout, or vice versa. Pressure put on towards middle. Grouping up towards the A site as well. Cowers, AK, inside of the Palace, looking potentially for the peek out. Bit of a scout play towards mid. Buddha goes in for the first face, but falls down to Big Guzera. And Cowers, don't imagine he's the sort of man that's going to walk into DGT here. Uses the nades.
Oh, it's not going to save him though. The 5-7 up close removes him as a potential threat. 3-3. AK also trades hands. Quaz's AK now moves across towards Nouns as Big Guzera making moves onto the B site. They spotted a lot of confrontation over on A. They've made the right decision, but they still need to get the cross. And the scout's going to weaken them up. Easy pickings for DGT. Lux goes into his shallow grave, and with 45 seconds left, Big Guzera and Snow, they can't just barrage their way onto the site. There will be a post plant coming in. This is where the lack of utility and the lack of health on players like DGT can be a problem, but the flash doing very little. Was designated towards the market, doesn't land in there. Instead, Big Guzera with 9 bullets in his magazine, and I have to try and pick off one of these oncoming CTs.
He gets the info. Oh, going for the reface each and every time, though. It's Nouns hitting the shots. Response back, good onto Snow. An equalizing round found. Already we're seeing signs of this one potentially being a little bit scrappy. Some swing rounds, some explosive CS here and there. The scout paying off, and the investment works. Against that, what, a few 5-7s, one scout. Hit their shots, pick up the pieces. Now you get a better buy going into the next and carry over the AKs as well. So round 5, this is going to be lights out. NQZ donning the AWP. Yet to get off the starting block in this map, Vince, but overall, he has been absolutely beasting.
Yeah, I believe the stat is that he is the top performing player at the entire RMRs, above KRÜ, above many of his players that you'd expect to be up there, the likes of Elige, of course, who's also taking part. NQZ is at the top of the totem pole. So him starting slowly, that could be a problem. It could be an issue that paiN have to contend with. Very early days, so of course, Jackie, and he does have the AWP now, which is typically where he does his best work. So we'll see if he can get himself involved in this right now.
Big Uzero are back up, down towards underpass. But it's Martinez that makes the first play. Face out on ramp. Instant connection with the AWP straight back. So an opening duel in the favor of 9Z this time. Boost up in response. Lux looking towards window. Could catch Halso Peak on the rotate. Nade in his hands. Dead in the murder hole. And an equalizing frag.
Max toying with the idea of trying to push that smoke. Oh, but it's right into the embracing arms of his opposition, IGL. Big Azera gobbles up that free kill. But as he comes around the corner, not anticipating the DGT will be boosted up on the box. That should give him an idea of 2 players potentially being over on the B side. And it may press the button for them to get hot and heavy on A. Already trying to force them back with the utility of the Molotov. 30 seconds left. Well-placed flashbang keeps the Spanish AWPer at bay. And allows him to get that post plant in. NQZ took his hand off the mouse for a second there, but still nailed the shot anyway.
He scratched his nose, but I guess his spider senses were tingling. Fast flick on the response back up. I was thinking the same thing. I wondered if it was going to throw him off. Didn't bother him, mate. We said he can be incredibly lethal. And that's just his first. Let's see what more he can do over the course of this BO3 we've got ahead of us. For Martinez and DGT, there really isn't much to be done in this round. It's just about saving the 2 weapons they've got, dragging that into the next. And Lux having a bit of a look in, seeing if maybe they're going to overstep the mark. Post-bomb blast, try and harass somewhat. If he could get the AWP out of their hands, it'd be pretty costly for them. Spam into the smoke, a lot of tags, but no conversion.
Yeah, you could see what he was going for. The idea of knowing that the AWP was in CT, throws a smoke down, really isolating and hoping to spray through there to deal the deathly damage. May have ended being a bit of a security blanket for them though overall. Not that it really matters a great deal. 3-2 the score now for paiN. They will have to traverse past that AWP, past the rifle that was also saved in. Yeah, when you look at the stats, I mean, 5 consecutive losses on Mirage for 9Z, losses to Cloud9, ENCE, VP, Vitality, Falcons. Fair enough, a lot of those teams are up there, but when you look at some of the scores as well, though, Jackie, they lost 13-1 to Falcons, 13-3 to Vitality, and 13-2 to VP on Mirage.
Yeah, it's an interesting stat to build off of. Throws a bit of spice into the veto of how this one's potentially going to play out. For 9Z, it's felt like there's been a lot of pressure on them over the course of this RMR. Potentially some of that put on themselves. But they give as good as they get at these events. So here in the 6th, let's see what they've got in store. So Peak, back at the bomb site. Incendiary thrown out to buy a bit of time, flash over the top as well. But paiN, they're going swift with this one. Straight in, taking space.
Max mollied and smoked out of position, and Lux illuminating the scoreboard with the opening pick. Max never stood a chance. NQZ puts his AWP to use for the 2nd consecutive round. And already, 9Z, not really any hope in this round. But that may have just given them a little bit of a lifeline. Lux found and fragged. There is a gateway back in, but they also have to deal with middle. Martinez had the right idea, but the timing's slightly off. It looks as though a save is going to be coming to the forefront, but Big Azera's position may go unchecked, unnoticed. He may be the snake in the grass that's going to pivot in and sink his fangs into the remainder of 9Z, not allowing them to save these weapons. They desperately need to hold on to them, otherwise this half is going to get out of control. I don't know if this time though, Jackie, I don't think he can get up close enough.
Yeah, too far gone on this one. Tried to trail him as best he could. had the read on where he repositioned off to for the save, but it is what it is. That one exchanges hands. They keep the free weapons alive, and that's going to be a big boon, right? Like you say, it was very important they keep those guns in play. Actually have some good firepower to roll with and keep things in contention here going back into the 7th rather than having to make a lot of concessions. It'll be on the weakened foot. It's DGT standing head and shoulders above the rest. 7-2. Good performance so far over the course of Mirage. Meanwhile for paiN, a relatively even split. Buddha, he's the man that we know can do some star plays. Tries to go in and shine bright down an underpass, take a bit of map control off them, and DGT, if he feeds the hot hand here and finds the frag on Cowes, it would be a good opener. Instead, he goes down. Damage done back onto Buddha. You can't fight this one. One man down, he's got to retreat.
And he has been the man with the hot hands. Cooled off for the time being. BESTIA finishing off a weakened Buddha, who has been one of their best performing players over the duration of their opening matchups in this tournament for Nouns. Martinez with the AWP has struggled from time to time. This would be asking a huge amount. He at least has the X Factor, the power play weapon in the right position as it stands. And they have the intel from Quasarpeak, who's moving around the back. So they know that A side is bereft of any Ts. They know that B side is likely to be pushed on, and Lux, who was weakened, has now been fragged. Weapon doesn't trade hands, though, to Quasarpeak. Didn't want to get too overzealous on that one. But it is going to give paiN Gaming second thoughts about this B hit, and now they make a move over back onto A.
No weapon recovered for him either, so it is just the USP tucked into Sandwich. Oh, NQZ dives over the top. Luckily, BESTIA ready for the response. It flicks off the crosshair with the player down in Sandwich, and BESTIA starting to come alive as well. Follow-up frag's good. That's a free K for him in the round. This is what we wanted to see, right? BESTIA, a little bit quieter this time around at the RMRs, but realistically, it's been his teammates that are doing far more for him. But if he starts to lead by example as well, Vince, that's the dream scenario for paiN.
And it's terrifying for anyone they go up against, because BESTIA, we touched on this yesterday when we casted them, about him being like the big hitter, the crazy shock and surprise for a lot of people at the Copenhagen RMRs, how well he was performing, all of the transfer kind of gossip and ideas of, oh, he should go to FURIA, or he should go to an EU team, he can speak fluent English, put him on any team in the world. This tournament, he's been bottom fragging, bottom stats in terms of his teammates. They've all been stepping up so much that he's not been needed as often. But you always know he has that extra gear within him. And we're starting to see it here. A brisk 4K shutting down the round. And this paiN team, if they're all firing on all cylinders, they are absolutely horrendous to play up against. It's like there are no weak links on this squad.
No, it feels like they really can thrive. But in reality, this is paiN looking to take Snow to his first major as well. Be a hell of a feat for him. Born in 2007, first major in 2024. Print that one out, that's a hell of a certificate, Vince.
Nouns may be down, but they're certainly not out just yet. They can still retrieve and recover this half. They'll have to start, you feel like, pretty much right here, right now. Round loss bonus accruing, affording them a full luxury of rifles. No AWP, not required. NQZ, bested by Max through the smoke, allows them to alleviate that pressure and back out of middle. They don't need to overextend anymore. They've got the hit they were looking for.
BESTIA on the boost up. Bide his time. Build off the back of it. Awful lot of space and pressure put on. So Nouns already scratching their heads. Situation is that Buddha can take a peek out towards Palace at least with a bit of backup towards the B site. Max up close and personal here on Connector. He's trying to peer over the smoke, sees his opportunity, tries to strike. Good damage. Two players being chipped down to sub 50. Oh, and the nade called in from Martinez. Heads up decision making. He'll even find a further frag. Assist, and Max goes back in. It's all starting to fall to pieces. Snow's the only one left. We know he can do ridiculous things. Let's see if this is going to be one of those rounds. Molly down on jungle. Spam shot from the back line. Finish him off. They finally get themselves back on the board.
Oh, we saw yesterday just how ridiculous he can play with aces, 20+ kills, and like 5 deaths, I think it was. Completely annihilated with his performance yesterday up against Imperial. But yeah, some really good calling from Max. You can see he's in the thick of the action there, calling for the grenades. For the artillery barrage. And although they've slowed paiN down, the economy was still good enough, as will be the next round, to be fair, regardless of what happens here, for consistent buys. So 9Z, they're not out of the woods just yet. Max getting aggressive through on Con. This time, though, it's Martinez that gets peppered down to 17. He needs to tread lightly as he backs away. DGT, through the smoke, nearly bags himself a frag. So decent damage exchange between the two teams.
Knows he got the initial chip off and looking to just try and smash the man out the server. Luck staying alive with 28 HP on the tuck-in. Window smoke and a bloom. Max responds, taking control again towards connector. Exchange of smokes to make it a bit more uncomfortable. And Big Guzera, a bit paranoid about it. Seeing if he can sliver his way back up towards short, assist the rest of the boys that are going to be running their way out into the bomb site through B. Break the smoke, a little bit of chip damage back onto him. First contact from DGT is good for the opener. That's Big Guzera. The side swipe from short has been shut down as he doubles up for 2, but only has 13 HP left.
Has been burnt. Oh, NQZ's not missing that shot. Slow peek into his crosshair. You're a dead man. Head removed. HE. It's on the right place, but the wrong time. Not able to deny the plant, and therefore no reason for NQZ to make a move. He's got a sniper's nest built in. He's feeling comfortable, cozy up there right now, and he's got Koaz to watch his back. Oazo Peak, with no smoke or Molotov to force away one of these positions, is going to have to use the element of surprise. But as he walks around this corner, Koaz, even if he got killed, has NQZ providing the overwatch, not required, as paiN dial in his 6th. So 9Z get a little bit of success, but then immediately gets slapped back down to size.
DGT looked like he was on for another one of those star rounds as well. Finding impact there, but no conversion on it. Took down both of the short players. Left with only 13 HP. Snow's Molotov, the instant tick was enough to take him out of the server and flip things around. And money's completely decimated as well. Deagle 5-7, 3 USPs surrounding that. No nades in the pockets to try and line things. Ooh, Lux with a miss. Dink back onto it. But NQZ, he'll take these all day.
Interesting as well that Lux was AWPing, but I assume that's based off spawn for the middle peak. NQZ, though, showing he can get it done with the rifles alongside the big green. And now DGT with his 5-7, hoping and praying for a kill, but that's pretty much all he can get out of this. It'll be a consolation prize at best, as he's about to get wide swung into from potentially multiple players. He may be able to deny the bomb plant, as there was no smoke, but Snow, it was spinning around, he was looking, and he found the Predator hiding it in the grass, and just burnt it all down.
Energy's looking good for him as well. Cheering, the fists are being thrown up in the air. That's the sort of vibe you want to see. Oh, he just caught the glimpse as well with the bomb.
I did just check the stats as well, by the way, and how Snow performed yesterday. 21 kills, 1.84 rating with 103 ADR. That is how dominant the young man was. NQZ has fallen to the hands of Martinez, though, so maybe a player like Snow is going to have to pick up the slack.
Yeah, the AWPing head-to-head going against them this time. Max, inside a connector. The IGL ships in the night. But it'll be 9Z to pick up the pieces on that one. Max is able to find Big Guzera. Response back. Set the ramp ablaze. Put even more pressure on the round. Try and burn extra time off the clock before paiN Gaming takes base. 2-1 split. It's Lux that's round towards connector side, just underneath window. Ton of nades still to play with. Snow throws out the first. Adds the smoke up, blocking off connector, allows the peek down. Max spots it, Buddha didn't quite have the timing for the shot towards the back though.
Too many angles to deal with, and Quas is Shui was still up on the balcony. Great flick down though, transitioning on that transfer spray, double tap to the head of Buddha. Suddenly this round becomes doable. KRÜ with the bomb as well can traverse back over, but with only 30 seconds left, he's going to have to pretty much just hold W the whole way through. Roll the dice. He's already done far better than anyone could have expected from him. But with 31 HP, 1 bullet, and he's pretty much done. And both of Nouns are making moves over. Max is already there. He's hearing the footsteps. That'll be relayed information. And KRÜ is going to die as soon as his feet hit the ground. Really solid effort, though. That's going to give Nouns a bit of pause for thought, because that went nearly too far gone.
Yeah, as soon as he got the shot off onto the stairs player, I was thinking he was going to get swung on with a nade in his hands, but instead it was just the instant 2-tap straight to the face. Felt like he was feeling it. You could see a bit of exasperation on his face though in the rotate, realized how uncomfortable it was, right? 1v2, so tight on time, didn't really have many options to work with, tried his best. Another lifeline going the way of the CTs. Max out early with a pre-fire through the smoke, nearly catches him on contact, but no damage there. Response back is a couple of HEs coming his way.
Multiple underpass pushing players from Bigazera and Snow. Additionally, have KRÜ just behind them that's watching for that BAPS push. With the smoked out window now fading, they need to be very cognizant of being peeked from above, so they're going to replenish that one. Buddha was anticipating maybe a boosted up window play, which is now going to be coming through into the smoke. Bigazera thrives in this kind of chaos. On the receiving end of Max in that previous round, going to try and make amends. And speaking of Max, taking stray bullets through the smoke, tagged down to 68. But Bigazera, he's on the flank. Oh, he's going to have a backstab potentially onto Martinez. And as he's the only CT on this side of the map, that effectively would be a post plant following suit. It's only a matter of time before Bigazera spots him, and the headshot comes through.
Threads the needle on the rotation and injects his venom with a backstab. Martinez laid to waste. Buddha looking to clap straight back. Max actually finds the pickup onto Lux as well, equalizing the situation, so it's a 4v4. The pressure's on. Clock is the additional man on the server for the T side. That's going to force the hand somewhat of the CTs here. 2 kids in play, so they've got them to work with, but they're losing numbers on the face. They know of NQZ's location now, all the way back towards bench. It's a rough fight. Buddha comes in, time ticking away, forcing the issue, trying to sprint on up, see if they can still save this one, but one by one they connect all the pieces. Snow with the final killing blow, and 4 rounds of advantage goes the way of paiN at the half.
Yeah, Bigazera is really delivering, not just with his fragging, but his calling. His reads have been on point. Single-handedly, effectively winning that round from a perfectly timed flank. 8-4 the score. We go back to that point we were raising before as well, though, Jackie, in terms of everyone is pulling their weight right now. Everyone's had those entries, those moments. KRÜ with that 3K.
Oh, yeah.
Snow's had a bunch as well of impact. And surprisingly, Luxus have been a little bit on the slower side in terms of the fragging. Normally he's up there with NQZ. Normally he's one of those guys you're looking at to really be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So, I mean, there's just so many threats that you have to contend with this squad.
A lot of firepower. They were showing the big guns. Pistol round, though. It could be the great equalizer in a matchup like this. So Nouns, all-important round, really. Find this one to try and reset the mental a little bit, put yourself into a better position. Avoid the likelihood of this one being another stat against them on Mirage. Make it a way to break that wall down, put yourself into a great position in the best of 3. That's what you've got to be thinking about here. Utility to work with, 2 smokes, flashbangs surrounding that as well. Set up with the utility towards the A site. Meanwhile, bombs on the back of Martinez over towards B.
Yeah, this feels more like a fake than anything else. He's got the 2 smokes as well. Of course, trying to bait out the 2 players on this execute. Just going to keep them interested. KRÜ trying to get up close in that smoke with the Julies. There's still 3 players here. They haven't budged an inch. It's really awkward, though. How have nobody gone down for the T's? Finally, Lux is going to put an end to that one. Flash is good, but NQZ gets nailed afterwards by Buddha. Lux now can turn his attention up onto the balcony side. Delivers the death blow to DGT, and a weakened Buddha finalized by his hands too. It's looking like this round, although it was in the palm of the hands for a few moments of 9Z has slipped away. And Max with it all to do by his lonesome. 3 separate angles, surely no hope at clutching this.
They've just got to not give him the fight. You got the room to trade off one another, but Max, he's trying to play it out as best he can. 40 seconds, the time isn't an issue. Dives off, they hear the footstep. Extension from Cowes with the Julies, looking to try and put some punish into him. Meanwhile, Max goes for the swing. Glock's good for one. First connects, but there's the backstab. Julie starts to sting. And another round goes the way of paiN, the pistol round. It would have been a stepping stone, an open door for 9Z. Instead, it's paiN looking in a really powerful position in this opening map.
I think the heart was in the mouth of Lux that was rattling off all those shots but not getting any kills for a good few seconds. They even had a crossfire and it's like they just wouldn't die. Eventually, the back gave out. Too heavy was the load in that round. And as you mentioned, like, it was a potential just trace, a small gap in the door that's now been slammed in their face and locked. It's looking like a 10-4, just a deagle, unless they can return the favor. I mean, this is effectively where paiN Gaming struck early on in that first half, but lining up for Lux is never a great idea. And he puts 2 of them down where they stand. Could be a post plant, though. That would be a nice little bonus on top. They didn't fully invest into this round. So, mission accomplished, realistically. You got a kill, you got a bomb plant. You can come back in now with some AKs.
Hey, you'll take that one. Better outcome than it looked like it was going to be. And put up. Even in these rounds, it feels like he's finding his pick. He's getting his man whenever he's given a chance. It's just being able to build off the back of that. Not really putting them into sustainable positions. Of course, that's off the back of the pistol. Forget about those rounds. Dial in with what we're working with here. Round 15. AK's back out. They're on parade. 5 of them on the server. Full utility as well. paiN 3 rounds away from the first map being claimed as theirs. This is where you've really got to step up.
One player that has really impressed me over this tournament as well that we haven't touched on that much is Koaz. Typically more of a supportive element for paiN. Consistent, solid results from his hand. 91 ADR coming into this round, but Buddha has eviscerated Lux as he looks for information and hops up. Hits the ground a dead man. That's much more like it from the young gun of 9Z. They need these kind of performances, but he's been doused. He's been suppressed down from NQZ. You can't double up. There is a way still forward for 9Z.
To put him into a good position. 4 versus 3, tons of damage done onto Snow from the spam, and Big Guzera down to 34 as well. And look at what it's done to their mental in terms of the rotations. Dabbling with where exactly this sight hit's going to come. And it arrives at B. Max, Merc Snow on contact. And you've got the cutthroat maneuver ready as well. They go out through connector, it'd be an instant connection. You could catch them sleeping. Instead, they know it's time to just back away on this one. Tuck tail for a little while. Give up the round. You can concede a 5th as long as you keep the weapons alive.
And Martinez with the quick little fake plant to draw out any pesky CTs hiding around the corner. Now being cleared off. And paiN will look to try and watch each other's back to hold on to these 2 rifles. With the 2 weapons saved, they can go straight back in front of the buy. NQZ even potentially coming through with an AWP. We'll see what they want to prioritize into that next one, but the good news for 9Z is they're at least putting up a bit of a fight on this T-half. Buddha with that crisp, clean entry. It feels like, though, that they're going to need to call on him a lot more on this half if they want to start to get close. He is one of the players that you look at in terms of his talent, his skill. He's been up there at the top of the scoreboard for 9Z for the duration of this tournament. Oh, they can't afford the AWP. They're just shy of it.
Could bite Martinez in the bottom somewhat. He had some nice picks. He was able to shut down a couple of the faces from NQZ when he went aggressive, looking for the first frag towards the B-bomb site on T-half. Thankfully, there won't be a scope on the other side either, though. So it's all rifles all round. Big Uzer up. The rest of the boys on paiN in a pretty good spot right now. But 9Z, is this the start potentially of a way back in for them? Boost up. Bit of an aggressive play to try and counter what Buddha's been up to towards B. Now Pete gets the read in it. Initial spam. Paranoid about a reface down towards underpass. They're playing off one another, but Buddha's straight in. This man's keeping you guessing where the plays are going to come from. Takes it out on A this time, but he goes down. Big Guzera with the first pickup.
I wonder if there's a bit of a lack of communication there, because it felt as though the way that Buddha was entering, he needed DGT to be closer to have his angles covered, and it just didn't happen. So effectively just dangled himself on the end of a fishing rod. And paiN, they're not going to take a nibble, they're going to just devour him whole. However, in doing so, they're exposed out of middle, and they have been put down where they stand. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of 9Z, taking control over middle. Now, they may not know that B site is a little bit on the weaker side, but they have the advantage here, hence Koaz pushing. He wants that information, see if he can maybe get the backstab. Post up and allow his teammates to rotate. But NQZ's not moving from the boxes. Oh no, are 9Z really about to walk into the stack site? They had the right read. They could be walking into NQZ. This round could still be the way of paiN.
It's the time as well. It's putting the pressure on them. 23 seconds ticking away. Audio cues being passed over. Steps through the coals. You got to commit to that plant. Cowes. Oh, they bait him in. First tap's good. Bomb fishing. Reels in a big one as they get that pickup. It makes a world of difference. If he was able to find the clap back, puts themselves into an even situation to try and make a play on this. Instead, that retake, it's starting to fade into obscurity.
Yeah, I think that dream faded the second that they got the kill onto Koaz. It will be the save, but they're walking into Max's layer. He's been waiting, anticipating, but he's low HP and doesn't get the insta headshot, so he will be punished by Lux. So it's looking good for 2 save weapons again. And I think you spot on there, Jackie. If Koaz gets the first pick, that is very much looking like paiN's round. Considering that Max was low on the periphery of the map, he was in no position to join the crossfire. There was definitely a way forward for paiN. It looked like N9Z had just like mega-brained themselves almost into this trap, but they got the entry and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I feel like you turtled up a little bit. But they survived the test in the end. Heads up call as well, obviously. Tap the bomb, see if they do go in for the info play. Hook, line, and sinker. Looking a bit closer, though. It's good to see. A resurgence on the T side. It could be a breath of fresh air. Get into the groove of the game a little bit. Set the tempo. Hit some shots with the AK. Wake yourselves back up. Opportunity to talk here, discuss things. See what you've got going forward.
Yeah, it's good to see that they haven't just been bulldozed, because that was my concern, that how the game started.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. Like 9Z, they've been in a bit of a free fall. We discussed this before coming into the tournament. They've been on a hefty loss streak, a lot of red in their columns. And paiN are a different beast, a different animal. Very much a momentum-based team. So it's good to see them standing and fighting here, but they still need to bypass these 2 rifles. paiN have won with a lot less than this already on this very map. And Big Azera had a deagle that time, and he's got one again here. However, they're bypassing A. 2 players already going out onto B site. Neither of them have the bomb, though. And they have also committed to this A play. They've already pushed up close onto Tetris area. But they're finding out all this intel. Do they have the ability to pull the plug and get out of ramp all the way over onto B site? Martinez could maybe scamper away, but they've got so much forward real estate here that they may just go for the flank around the back from courtesy of Buddha's position. He's already got one. What a strange round this has been.
You've been able to conceal the bomb at least for long enough that that one pick has actually reeled them back to where they wanted them. And Max going in with the AK, spamming off the warning shots. Keep this one clean. Don't give them a chance back in. That's what they're thinking. Finding the frags should be enough to secure it. NQZ and Lux have to save it. But yeah, it looked like it was shaping up to be a very bumpy round. Like you say, you're already so far out. You've committed to it. You can't really just bail back at that point. You would have been caught on the exit. Thankfully, on the wrap back around, The push worked. And with the bomb now going down and things shaping up like they're going to get themselves a 7th, the game gets a whole lot more closer. This is the kind of region where you do believe in yourself a lot more as well.
Oh, no doubt. You know that paiN, yes, they still have that 3-round advantage. In a few moments' time, that is going to be actualized. But momentum is certainly in your favor. The sails are picking up wind. You're getting closer and closer, and paiN are now going to start to get a little bit desperate. Nice shot at the end for DGT. It's not going to deny the fact they can get a full-on purchase into this with that round loss bonus, but it does keep one of those AKs out of the hands and forces him to invest most of their savings in. Now, NQZ has his hands on the AWP. That's always going to be a big boon, a big bonus to paiN Gaming's arsenal of weaponry. And 9Z have shown that there are weaknesses that have been exploited on both sides of the map, and mainly in middle too, and they've missed the jump. BESTIA has to back off.
And this is a big BESTIA that looks like he is starting to play to his sort of style as well. 13 kills right now. Had good impact in the rounds that they've been able to convert as well. And that's worrying. If big BESTIA is woken up, the sleeping giant's back in the building, you better find a way to put him under. No casualties though. Time still to play with, and nades are there. They wrap back off, gravitating with 4 players towards the A site. The smokes start to go over the top. Flashbang round as well. Send QZ towards the ticket booth. Responds with util of his own. Looking to block towards the ramp. Takes a couple of tags through. KRÜ up close and personal with the M4. He wants to make space. Oh, the spray's rough. It gives time for DGT to activate. 2 clean kills with the AK. Bomb site starting to be taken. And DGT, not content with just 2, he'll find a 3rd. And Max shuts down Snow. All on Lux now.
Labored spray for the first is going to cost him dearly in terms of his hit points. 2 bullets. Replenish magazines. As a smoke as well. I mean, he's got the kit. The problem is he's got nothing else to play with in terms of flashes. He's looking for that AWP. And Max will deny. And he's spot on. Quaz, it was such a scrappy spray that by the time he got the kill, DGT just walked outside of that smoke with the flashes alongside it. If Quaz gets that snappy, like if you think back to that 3K he got, just tap, 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 just banging players left and right out of the server. That kind of crispness, he could have changed his angle and potentially thwarted DGT, or at least the second player that was pushing Tetris. It's unfortunate, it's nitpicky, but that is the room of error that you get at this caliber of Counter-Strike. And they get punished hard. That Fast League is now down to just 2 rounds.
Yeah, man. That's what makes the reverberations in the round, right? Because you could even see, like, he was mid-turn onto the second player afterwards. But like you say, millisecond of difference, DGT's in position, and just like that, you get to 8. There's a game on our hands here. Mirage, it's been a 5-map loss streak. You could break that, and Buddha, he breaks the face of NQZ. Instant engagement. He's a bit of a mean machine, Vince. I'm liking the way he's switching up his playstyle. Pathing on the entries, right? He's keeping them guessing. You never quite know where he's going to come from, but it feels like he's always ready for the fight.
That entry was his 5th successful opening duel on this map, and most of them have been on the T side. So he is absolutely starting to feel himself in this game and start to reach that level that we know he's capable of, as we've seen quite a few times already at the RMR here. That is a problem that paiN are going to need to solve. And for the time being, their remedy has to be Deagles, MP9s, and a Scout. Now, they got a good read of this. They got 3 players over on B. There's still more than enough time to wrap around and rotate through the con via underpass. Martinez taking the bomb. Timing here of the essence. If Quaz can just thread that timing, potentially sneak up behind them on ramp, that is a pathway towards success. Smoke down on con may give the game away now for 9Z, and Quaz begins to make moves.
We've seen these rounds with the late hits towards A. Having opportunity for paiN. Is it going to be any different here? Initial shot goes out. Big BESTIA testing the waters with the initial tap on towards triple. It's KRÜ that wants to make the play, but DGT ready for it just in case. He's got the ramp covered. You go walking into it. It's shut down by the AK. Everyone else will start to fall, and with time ticking away, things looking very awkward for paiN. It's looking like this isn't going to be a possibility. Hold on to what you've got and give it up. So a 9th. Their namesake, Vince. They've made it to 9. How far do they go?
I think the way in which that they have taken to this T side with this sort of brisk effortlessness, I think they can go distance now. I am fully believing in backing 9Z to get the job done. This is their choice of map. Oh, pardon me. No, it's paiN's choice of map. Their choice of map is Dust2 up next. But it feels like they're really starting to click on this T side. And the other side of the coin, paiN look like they're out of ideas. Like, they're actually really struggling. The trades that were going in their favor early on from, like, Lux and Snow in particular's really died down in these last 5 or 6 rounds. Are just not working in their favor. I'm not surprised to see a tactical timeout being deployed here for BIGazera and paiN. Because there's a lot of issues that they need to contend with right now, and they know that vast lead is now basically for naught. They were setting up for exit frags at the end of that last round. Tons of cash for 9Z. You can see Martinez, he's nearly max money, 14k. They're good to buy for 2 or 3 rounds at least, if not the rest of this map.
Oh yeah. You could be sipping on the rosé, round in, round out. Having a good time with it. Initial smokes go up. NQZ with the AWP once again, though. We saw his power back on the T side. What's he got for us here on CT half? Instant engagement with Max being traded out as Snow falls, and NQZ does deliver. That's a big pickup as well. Buddha's been elevating his power level. You silence him here. You've got an edge to work with in the frags. And 9Z, they've got to switch up the pace, rotate back around. Off the back of that frag onto Snow, though, you're still up on short. How so peaks here. Just in case anyone wraps round towards window. He's got it covered on the peak. It's Cowes that's inside a connector. And the deathly duo for 9Z grouping up, making their way back towards the ramp.
That kill from Snow could be one of the most impactful he'll pick up in this entire map. Shut down the catwalk push. And in doing so, funneled 9Z away. They've typically got the entry frags on this half. Smoke and Molotovs being exchanged with some flashes thrown in for good measure. And 9Z able to capitalize and push to the site. Going to be going for that full-on plant as well out in the open. DGT needs to do it before the smoke is cleared. The grenade comes in, but it's too little too late. It will deny the life of DGT, but not the post-plant. And a Martinez with it all to do. Has to hide in the smoke, but gets caught from below from Coaz. And that'll be their first round in 5. They've broken the curse just in the nick of time. But they can't take their eye off the prize here because 9Z, still with a post plan, still a real threat and danger.
And like you were just highlighting before, right, with the buys, the money's not going to be an issue. It's not as if you lose one of these rounds, suddenly it all starts to crumble down. You're thinking, how do we get back into this? You know what the answer is. Buy straight back up. Go into the fight once again. QZ found his 1 frag with the AWP, but it was Cowes again that's been continuing to deliver.
É isso, velho.
11-9 the score. Super tense. Wasn't quite the same bravado and gusto that we saw from Snow earlier. Seemed a little bit more apprehensive, perhaps. Understandably so. You can't feel fully confident about your CT side just yet with how many T rounds were strung back to back to back that you never really were in with a shot of winning. Coaz using that smoke though alongside Max as they go both going to try and take the forward positions. Max getting into con. We saw him love this spot on CT side and have a lot of success from here. Not this round though. Snow through the smoke will pounce onto him, and that's a perfect flashbang onto periphery of the smoke. Coaz pushes once again. These flashes consistently fully blinding the T's, but Martinez somehow comes out ahead.
Oh, Martinez loses his head on the peak though. Avoided the volleyball HE that was thrown towards him, but his demise will still arrive. And off the back of it, it seems like paiN are going to be able to make their move to 12 here on the first map. Secure the safety net. DGT, it's been so damn good for the course of this whole map. the entries, the 3Ks. But you know this is a round where you just got to stew in what you're left with. No chance in the 21st. Think about the big picture. They brought it back from a far worse scoreline. You could very well still keep this rolling. It's all about the overtime for them, whereas for paiN, you just want to close it.
That's 100% spot on. If you offered them a 12-9 scoreline when they were 10-4, but hold on a second. They're still going to win based off time. But DGT, oh man, he must have terrified paiN for a split second there, thinking, don't peek him, don't peek anymore.
Mate, that's grotesque. DGT. Damn good time. That's what his name stands for, because he's giving it right now. All right, bud. I mean, if you can do that again, then yeah, they can still stay in this game. paiN Gamer might be on match point, but 9Z are fighting like they're on championship point. They're giving it the big one. Contain that energy. Harness it into the next. AWP for Martinez. DGT again delivers. Finds the fourth man that he was looking for in the last round and stays alive with just a sliver of health to assist the team.
paiN are going to try and get aggressive to counteract this. I think that 9Z, they seem like they have a good read of the situation. They just sat back waiting, although Buddha is now making moves into the Palace. They've actually foregone ramp control. This double player stack going in. But will this work against Lux? He's effectively the player in the jungle. May not anticipate that anyone is in Palace at this point. They may assume that the rotation has already came through. Yeah, Lux is trying to watch 3 angles at once, effectively Palace, Con, and also the window. And although his side is covered from the wall, at some point he may overextend and get picked off by DGT, who cannot miss right now.
Lux being forced back from the utility, but it sends him straight into the crosshair of Max. He'll win on the duel, reset the advantage. Martinez given the peek on short side. KRÜ again, finding frags here. And they're setting themselves up for the first map now. It looks like paiN getting closer and closer to that all-important 13th round. It's down to the retake 3v2. Buddha, HE should finish it. The ricochet off the wall's enough. Goodbye, Lux.
Snow and KRÜ, the slight HP advantage. They know where one of these players are, but it's the second one they have to be cognizant of and wary of. Kit in the hands of KRÜ as the flashbang up and over onto CT boxes. Does connect, but who has a peek is able to just sit in position, knowing that with 2 of them, they should be able to find the winning formula. Snow's going to take the initiative, get aggressive, get straight in the face, but although he gets both kills, he's not going to have time. Can't even find the bomb in the smoke. And so 9Z keep this map alive.
No weapons saved to their name either. Cash a little bit disjointed in some places. Man, 9Z fighting on this one. Live and die by the sword. Opting for the tactical pause as well. Their third being used in regulation. They haven't stopped believing ever since the start of the second half. Consistently scrapping into these rounds. Big hero plays, big moments to reinvigorate the team.
It was 10-4 at one point. paiN were on the fast track to a 1-0, and we were almost speaking like, okay, it's done. The way they were playing, Snow was popping off. Big Azera, probably with his best performance so far at this very tournament, was absolutely on fire. And yet here we sit at 12-10, and you nailed it. With DGT with that sick play, like obviously he was never going to win because of time, but it gave them that inspiration. You came back from 10-4, you can come back from 12-9, you can come back from 12-10, no problems at all. Take it to OT. You still got this. It's an eco round for paiN. We likely will go the distance here of the full 24 rounds. Unless...
The calling card of those upset rounds has been the Deagle on Big Guzera. That's been the heirloom. That's been the cheeky boon that's given them something to step up with. But you put all the potential ifs and buts aside, you focus on what they've got. Lux with an M4 KRÜ as well. You could still be so lethal. Both of them have been hitting some nice shots in this one, both with 16 frags to their name. Mirror match. And 9Z expects something aggressive as well. They thought paiN wouldn't be playing it like a rifle round. They tried getting your face, catch you off guard. Run a bit of time on the clock. Throw out the smoke towards mid-window. Wrap back around with a heavy grouping onto the site. They've got smokes and flashes primed for it up close on the balcony. It's that meaty M4 ready to rip raw through them. Big Guzera sets up his teammate with a double flash in as well so he can peek towards ramp, but Buddha's ready.
I like both those flashes nailed the oncoming T's, but Buddha too strong. His 6th successive entry frag. Opening duel going in his favor, and Nouns will capitalize. Now again, they're in that very awkward spot where they can buy next round regardless of what happens, but of course they want to hold on to this M4 in the hands of Lux. They've got a bit of Kevlar on him. The rest of the players can kind of throw themselves into the lion's den here with those P250s. If they can take a weapon out of this round, and AK would be worth its weight in gold going through to the 24th. But he gets caught. P2000 though, unable to finish him off. And he's got enough time to sprint away from the bomb and survive. The P250 tries to rattle some domes. Damage inflicted, but not enough for the outright kill. But Max will go down with the ship. They saved the M4 they were looking for. They can come through with a solid and hefty buy here. But we have hit round 24, and Nouns on this T-half have only conceded 5 times, and one of those was off the back of the pistol.
And remember, for those of you watching at home, it's for qualification to the Shanghai Major. So much riding on this one. It's the first map of our best of 3. Nouns proving that point with how they're playing. Weapons to work with though, so no broken buy for paiN into potentially the last round of the game. NQZ repositioning round. Up through window, looking for the short face, scoped up. Can he slice his way through them if they give him an opportunity?
It's been a little bit quieter this game, but I think a lot of that has been Nouns doing a really stellar job of kind of silencing him with utility. Smokes and Molotovs have been probably his biggest nemesis in this game. Nouns toying with the idea of taking mid control, but now briskly moving back over onto A. They already have DGT playing as that forward pivot already in the palace. They got plenty of utility for a full-on execute. Could be the final play of this entire map. paiN will certainly be hoping so. With 50 seconds left, Nouns about to pull the trigger.
40 seconds on the clock. HE thrown in. Hefty damage done. Might be enough to make it easier for these M4s to convert the damage. As Gowers up close, rattles off the shots, even blind, but still finding the first pick. Oh, he's going wild! The damage absolutely decimates them, and it's all down to DGT that's finished by NQZ. 13 to 11 paiN. It looked like it was going to be sad for them, but they bring it back, close it down, deny the OT, and take that one.
Well, there you have it. paiN takes their map pick in this best of 3 that will determine who will be going to the perfect world.
They relish in the rounds that are worth getting excited about, but they never fall into that trap where suddenly you get a spike of adrenaline, you've won a big round, everyone gets too excited that then, you know, things start to blow up in your face when you lose another round, which can be a hard thing to balance. It's something that we always wondered if it could affect paiN at times as well. You go from such a high height to then things starting to get a little bit slippery. It could be problematic. And hell, I mean, we talk about Snove being young as well. 21 years of age for Buddha. He's another player that's been going absolutely ballistic. Any opportunity he's given, he thrives in it. Great pathing, great mechanics on his T-half back on Mirage. But we can dial into the game now. Ready to kick things off. Map 2's live. Qualification to the Perfect World Major for paiN Gaming could be one map away if they can shut it down and leave it as ashes to ashes, dust to dust here against Nouns. We're into the pistol.
Oh, big headshot to NQZ, though. He's going to have to hold his ground. Here, hiding the smoke, hoping that his players around him from Cat, from lower tunnels, can help him out, and they have. They push away the oncoming T's, allow him a bit of reprieve, and on 17 HP, he backs away. Wazupeak already getting up, though, on long, but Lux strikes for a second time.
The USP sniping him back, and Lux. Can he live lavishly and continue to deal damage here? Martinez Finds an opportunity to skulk his way through the smoke, slip up onto the site. At the back of Gandalf, you've got NQZ on low health, tucking in and looking to just buy a bit of time. You know you've got the edge in terms of manpower, but Martinez, is he going to make moves to flip that? No. NQZ strikes.
And although it's a post plant, it really is the weight of the world on Max's shoulders. One weakened player, but he's taking headshots left and right, and Big Azera lays down for the second kill, and paiN with a successful retake and defuse.
First pistol of the second map, carved in stone as paiN Gaming's. Now we saw this happen previously to kick off Mirage. There was a bit of a reset round. 9Z didn't bury their heads in the sand. They kept on fighting, found a way back in there. We were saying Big Goose there has been reserved. He's the one that's a little bit quieter compared to the rest, but he knows he can get excited here. You can afford that luxury. You know the position you're in terms of where you are at the RMR, how close you are to the major. He fires up the team. A big pistol, energy's there, start things off on a high.
And that's certainly, if you had any jitters about nearly going into OT after a vast lead, that's going to do a very solid job of pushing that right to the back of your mind, or just straight out into the open. No longer have to worry about it. Focus on the task at hand. Great advantage to kick things off. You don't want to lose it though. NQZ, bit of a shooting gallery opening up here, taking quite a bit of damage though on the approach. The Deagles landing a couple of leg shots onto him, so he's going to limp away back onto long.
SMG getting close. Cowers really clean with the moves he was making previously. Martinez trying to snipe down with the Deagle, but it's Max that makes the first connection. Bomb plants, the best they're going to get from this one. You do find the extra cash, but round itself destined for paiN.
I think 9Z will be happy with that though. I mean, they came in with effectively Deagles. They didn't fully invest into the round. So already capable of getting an AWP for Martinez, 6.2k in his hands. And he will oblige picking that one up, but NQZ, the same could be said on his side of things too. So 2-0 lead for paiN, but 2 consecutive bomb plants allow 9Z what you would just say is a better buy. They got AKs across the board with an AWP. You got an MP9 in play and a FAMAS for paiN. It's a bit more of a bonus round.
Martinez's AWP. What sort of impact will we see with the weapon? Because we know how good NQZ can be, and he proves that early. Snap up onto Max. Short control, instantly conceded. 2 players towards tunnels, 1 and upper. Now SoPeak on the rotate back down. Grouping up with the rest of the team on mid-side. They know about the AWP's location.
I think Max just got mega-minded by NQZ. He threw a smoke down, almost looking like it would be for the cross, suggesting they didn't have an AWP. Max walks out on catwalk, smacked. Straight centre mass shot, dead and buried. Now, that's assumptions, of course, but the way he walked out with so much confidence and vigor, it felt like it never dawned on him that he was in a crosshair of a sniper.
We saw the nade drop down to Lux from Big Goose on the bomb site, and it pays off. Tags up DGT, slows them down with the actual tagging as well, so they can't run on in. Means you could be peppered by Big Guzero, and one by one they're finding all these frags for free. There's no real trades. Leg shot from NQZ. Throws out the bowling ball, but it stays alive with 2. Okay, Martinez gets 1 as well, but it's 30 seconds on the clock. He reads it right. Expected the push out. Finds the flank. It's the bomb on his back, but such little time on the round that you don't really have much of a chance.
I think he's going to dip his toe in the pool, maybe over on B and just see what's happening. Nah, they're going to save. Yeah, Buddha's on 2 HP. You can't afford to throw these weapons away. You have no money playing into the next round. That streak of bomb plants has come to an end. They do decent damage, though, towards the end. You know, they take down the AWP of NQZ. It's going to get picked back up again. But a casualty towards the dying embers of the round. Not too bad for 9Z. They've got to do something with this saved AWP, though. Martinez hasn't had the option with the AWP so far to have much impact. It's all been on NQZ's side with that 1 frag he got onto Max. Let's see if they can dial it in, though, and pull something special out. They picked this map, Jackie, for a reason. They wanted Martinez to shine. Well, now he has to deliver on that promise.
A masterclass from Martinez would be just what they need in a situation like this. Supporting him, of course, the AK that was brought over. Ooh, head-to-head, AWP off. And again, it's NQZ that strikes first. So that big boon shut down early. Max at least recovers the weapon. He's going back in for a bit of an info spot on it as well. See if NQZ hung around. Isn't there anymore. Bailed out on the position. Can play further back, and Big Goose Era covers from CT side if they do go pushing on out. That very well might be the call. They've got nades for it, but the molly denies the push and buys a bit of time.
NQZ having it all his way. After that last map, he is now 4th top rated at this tournament. 1.33 rating. And that's after having a pretty rough Mirage by his own high standards. So you have kind of played into the sleeping giant himself with this map pick. Max now utilizing the AWP off the corpse of Martinez. Going to try and get himself up close. Smoke now going through onto CT side. NQZ for the second time has pounced. Pivots in for another AWP. Feasting. Looking like probably a save here. I mean, well, there's not that many other options realistically. You can maybe throw the Tech-9 into the breeze and see what happens. See if you can get a bomb plant out of it. But 15 seconds coming up on the timer. And the AWP has already backed off to the T-spawn. Nice effort from Quazapeak, but not going to make any difference to the grand standing of 4-0 coming up on the scorecard.
Counter-terrorists win. Deja vu in terms of the round on the outcome. AWP and AK save. And another one. The real commodity being garnered by paiN Gaming. It's a 4-0 lead early. It was certainly paiN favoured in the opening moments of Mirage, even with a scrappy back and forth couple of rounds towards the beginning. But it was the T-side from 9Z that looked so damn good. Here on Dust2, struggling somewhat to find the impact they're looking for. At least the gift of that AWP could be passed back over to Martinez. NQZ, he's been finding frags for free here, no cost towards middle. You love this, boost up on the top. Spam through the smoke so it clears the vision. If you peek out, the AWP is ready for it. It baits them in as well, but it might be thinking that you can go out and find the tag onto the AK spam. So Max falls for the trick and NQZ hits it.
Like a moth to the flame. That's such a cool idea. And you can almost imagine that Max was sat there like counting the bullets, like, right, he's got to be done with his magazine. I'm going to go peek. Still dead. NQZ, another one. Up to 7. And it's eerily quiet on the 9Z side of things with Martinez. He's not been able to find anything as of yet with the AWP. Now, yes, they got the smoke off onto spawn side, but they're now going to have to crunch onto B side, where Lux and Snow are laid in wait. Both are healthy. And Lux, he's having no chill with that AK. Martinez finally gets a bit of success with the AWP. It doesn't have much impact, because a 4v1 up against him, and he may be looking to try and save again. But there is Snow making moves. He wants to deny this from being a possibility. The barrel of that M4A1S may give him away, but the flick's not quick enough. And paiN with the cleanest of 5-0 leads.
Got the shot off, but slightly off target. They were able to keep the AWP in play for 3 rounds there, but not another one. Gets taken down. Money not really in the position they want it to be either to afford the luxury of another one. They do at least opt to take the pause here. Pump the brakes.
Love that.
Yeah.
Max is hating every second of it, though. He's been getting bullied so far from NQZ. That's the second or third time he's been on the receiving end of the AWP.
Oh, mate. I mean, to be fair, it was sick. Like, it's a hell of a smart idea, right? And also just the fact it worked.
NQZ loves when a plan comes together, Jackie.
Oh,
Loves
yeah.
it. Smiles from ear to ear. And there are 3 players that are out fragging him in terms of rating so far at this tournament. Obviously, some of them are yet to play. Ultimate, #1. #2 is Yuri. #3 is KRÜ. That's the kind of company that NQZ is keeping right now. And if he keeps playing like this, he'll go back to the top. It's yet another AWP pick. 9Z getting out onto middle. Lux is low, but there's 3 players watching down there. Big Azera, one of them. Making moves in. Flashes are perfect. Force back the T's into tunnel.
DGT was incredibly crisp with the AK on Mirage. To here with low health and his team falling to pieces, there really isn't many opportunities to even put the weapon to use. And at the back of upper tons, tucks in on the angle, goes for the swing out. Snow gives him an opportunity, peppers a bit of damage onto him, but you can't really convert any of these. 2 low players, but no room to strike against them. And 50 seconds still on the clock as well.
And this must feel like you are just being constricted so slowly. Every single round, you're hemorrhaging plays in the first 10, 15 seconds. Buddha is on 6 ADR. He is such a solid talent. And he's been unable to spread his wings and get off the ground so far. Same could be said of DGT. He was 20 and 12 at one point on Mirage. Remember that triple spray we both lost our minds over? He's been silent as well. paiN have snuffed out every single play that 9Z have attempted and made them look like a very ordinary outfit here. This T side has been lacking any real bite to it.
6-0 on the major qualification map for paiN Gaming if they close it in 2. Martinez gets the scope out once again. That's of course against the double AWP setup that remains in play for paiN Gaming. NQZ, he's been doing all the fancy footwork. 8 frags, only 1 death. Snow, meanwhile, immortal at the moment. The seasons have not changed. 4-0. Round going live. Weapons to work with, nades in the back pockets for 9Z. DGT expecting a potential play through the smoke, just holding towards Longhouse. Lower control going to be taken.
The forecast right now is pretty bleak. Is he going to push through the clouds, maybe the smokes of middle? They've got mid control a couple of times, but problem is they've always only had 2 or 3 players left, and most of them have been weakened at that point. Molotov well placed, well timed in. Once again, Huazapeak trying to get outside the middle, not really been fought for. NQZ is keeping his angles as complex as possible, making 9Z think about every single decision that they're making right now.
Lux dodging. A spam from the Galil. Tucks underneath. Meanwhile, the move out on middle. Snow looks out for the info face through window, but the shot won't connect. It's NQZ that again delivers. There's a flick from DGT. Only 1 though. Leaves them in a 3 versus 4 with 35 seconds on the timer. You're running in and Snow's ready for the response. Good AWP connection. Martinez strikes. Battle of the AWPs consistently going the way of paiN, and it's all on DGT. We need another one of those rounds, and it's not happening now. Snow with a sidearm silences him, and a 7th is confirmed.
I hope we get a replay of that. He is just popped off on the server and off it too. Let me tell you, this is going to be high decibels.
Pounding his chest on that one as well. So excited. 7-0.
Really smart as well by Lux. Like, if you know that you've conceded mid-control and there's a smoke down, it actually affords you the luxury of hiding in there and playing a different angle that the T's have to worry about, while also repelling a push through tunnels itself. Because you're mitigating anything from the flashes going tossed in. Big Azera's getting involved as well.
They're just thriving in it. Feeding off the energy that they're giving to themselves with the plays they're making. And 9Z, there's nothing you can do to put a dampener on it right now. Can't break that streak, break the mental.
I mean, collectively right now, Jackie, they have 10 kills across the entirety of 9Z, and we're moving into round 8. 10 kills. And Martinez has got half of them. In fact, it's worse than that. They got 9. I've given them too much credit.
The quick maths on that one. Oh, mate. They really have been hitting some mean shots on paiN, though. It's been NQZ again and again. Okay, bit of a switch up on the pace. The nade's going to be good. Should slow them down on contact. Tagging's going to be nice. Don't even have to full commit, really. You can get the wrap back around, reset for the retake. It's a 5v5. Given the bomb site, play for the round. Lux up on short. It's being held by the tech. Tons of damage done onto Max as well. Barely living, 11 HP left.
Giving up the bomb plant, but they have so much utility already. Throwing in the Molotov, isolating Huazo Peak from the rest of his team, and this is where the guillotine should start to come down. 2 kills. Buddha able to stand tall, deliver 1. He's going to need DGT to dig him out of this ditch, and he's unable to do so. And although the time was pretty low, more than enough for the defuse. So paiN may have given up a post plant, but it means nothing. Max round loss bonus already for 9Z. It's not plants they need rounds.
They just can't get them for love nor money. And no one on the server can shut down Snow. Still is yet to fall. Undying and delivering in key moments, finding the impact where he needs to. The double AWP setup remains alive. Martinez from Scout back to AWP. And we were both expecting it. This is sort of T-side Dust2. It's where he's going to come alive. It's where he's going to be the big boon for the squad, be able to activate again and again. Limited success in the engages, the 1-for-1s versus NQZ. It's felt like it's always gone his favor.
I think when you're dominating this hard as well, there's no reason for paiN to go for any peaks. You've been playing very passive defensive CS for the most part. Yes, they've had NQZ pop off with entries up on middle, but now they've got 2 AWPs. You can just sit back and absorb and soak in all of this pressure. It makes it a lot harder for Martinez to be that sort of static, aggressive AWPer that he wants to be. He does a lot of great work when he's flicking in one position, but it's hard to do that on the T side, especially when the CTs aren't giving you any opportunities to thrive. And I guess you could even make the argument he is actually for 9Z. He's the only player that's really shown anything as of yet.
Needs everyone else to assist. They need to find a way back in, give us shades of what we saw on the second half of Mirage. Verticality and play for KRÜ boosted up on top of Blue. I'm waiting to hit them. Buddha. He's had some clean entries in the past. They line up for him on this one. Noise being made towards short. Both of the kills as well. No trade from DGT. NQZ on the site burning. Trying to still strike. Barely slips his way off, but he will go down. The blind shot connects. Back at the site, KRÜ striking in, but it's Huazo Peak that's doing damage. But look at the time. 3 seconds on the clock. They tap it, but you can't commit. They even jump up to find the pick anyway. And Max has got a scurry. Another round gone. They get out on the A site again, but can do nothing with it.
It's all KRÜ though. I mean, sure, they did a good job, NQZ, although he burnt alive effectively, he actually stalled them for a pretty long time. But KRÜ getting both of those kills on long completely neutralized the play they had. They wanted to pincer in late on. The thing is though, 9Z have been so slow most of this half. There's no reason for paiN to switch it up. Where have we seen the long pushes coming into play with tons of flashes? A bit unfortunate maybe with spawnings and not allowing Martinez to get in up close proximity with his AWP, but now they're going to push. Finally we see some aggression. They're taking so much damage though. But they have got a couple kills. Huazo Peak down on 20 and DGT gets nailed by NQZ. They try and mix it up, same result.
The slow rounds weren't working, they decide to brawl. But off the back of the fist fight, it's good night for the majority of the players for 9Z with only 1 man left alive. Yes, he's had impact in the previous. But with 20 HP to his name, a 1v3 ahead of you. Your angle's covered, trapped in position, both of the orbs honed in. You walk up on long. Even if one of them misses, the second should be able to deliver.
Here's a damning statistic as well, Jackie. So far, we're nearly done with 10 rounds, assuming that Huasa Peak doesn't pull the rabbit out of the hat. And the miracle on top of it. 10 rounds, 0 opening picks for 9Z. They have not won a single opening duel on their T side.
Opting for another pause then. You might as well use them, especially with the slippery slope this game's turning into. Snow still has not gone down as well.
Have we seen a player not die at an RMR match before? Is he about to make history?
I do wonder. Imagine qualifying to the major without a single death in your qualification game.
It's pretty baller.
That'd be unreal. That'd be absolutely unreal. He's a high roller. If he pulls that one off, fair play to him. Kind of trend-setting, really, isn't he?
At such a young age as well. I mean, I said before about the 0 opening duels going the way of 9Z. NQZ's got 5. He's 5-0 right now. Lux is 3. Koez with 2. On the T side of Dust2, and you picked this map. That is about as brutal as it gets.
Reality of the situation looking like it's getting to him a little bit as well. Got to keep yourself focused. Again, with the buy you're working with, though, it's never going to be easy here in the 11th. paiN Gaming have all the edge. Everything they'd want to work with. You've got a mishmash of MAC-10s, Tech-9s, and the single deagle in the hands of your sniper. Out through mid. The playmaker for 9Z. Spinhouse O-Peak with Harry's been engaging. He's looking to collapse. Molotov's good to make it awkward for Snow. Bites a little bit of time, but Lux with the opening engagement gets one. There's Buddha. Snow, still alive. Will he finally fall? Can they strike against the immortal man on the back of the bomb site? The nade will deal with him. Buddha comes in and hits heavy. 3v2.
Low HP though. Quest around the corner now, knows where his position is. Spray comes through, a must-win round for 9Z if they want any hope at clutching this. And Koez says no, an emphatic no. Punches all 3, dealing death across the board, and that will be 11-0.
Mate, that's crazy. That's absolutely balmy that he's been able to pull it off on the retake. Pretty sure the player cam, he did go for the defuse and get it as well. But no, actually didn't. He literally took his hands off the mouse. I almost thought it froze. He literally was just relishing in the moment. That's mental. The way he was reacting on the player cam, Vince, I thought he just straight up diffused it and something went wrong.
I was seeing the light get darker on his face, so I thought he'd alt-tabbed or something by accident.
Oh, mate. It like literally tricked me out because I was like, surely he's not just accepting that he's banged them, is he? What a baller!
Just imagine how much of an alpha move that would be, though. Like you're dominating so hard, you get the 3K to show you can win it, and then you just give them the round afterwards. Like, there you go. Have a pity round on us. There you go.
That would be actually ridiculous. Oh. How does he keep doing it, by the way? Like, these 1v2s, the spray downs he's had, he's been so crisp. Undeniably so for paiN. Like, the impact he's had, it cannot be understated how much damage he's done throughout this potential qualification BO3 for them.
He's monumental. The MVP of the first map, for sure, on paiN. And although NQZ was popping off early on, now it's Koez's time to shine. 11-0. 9Z cannot buy a round. This round, they're going to get Martinez. There's their first opening pick, it feels like, the entire map. The entire match. But can they convert? Or is Koez going to strike one more time and break their hearts?
You mention his name, and you might very well summon the play into existence as he deletes Max from the server, waving him goodbye as he punishes with the M4. Reset the advantage that they were able to find off Martinez's opener onto Big Guzera, put them in an even situation, 4 versus 4. DGT is the late lurk out through long. Attention drawn toward the bomb site, but he still hasn't gone for the push yet, and they're taking pot shots for free. Another one clapped straight back onto Buddha. Nade buys him a little bit. DGT second-guessing himself potentially here. Looked like he was going to go for the late flank. They've still got their crosshair honed on. It's NQZ that's watching it. Nade's damage good onto the bomb planter as well. You need to get some frags here, boys. Find a way to activate. AK strikes. KRÜ goes down. Again, it's Lux that dives up. 2v2. The 5-7 singing for Snow, and at the back it's DGT. Only one connects. 12-0. paiN Gaming run through the half.
Oh, one of the most dominant halves of Counter-Strike you're probably likely to see. 12-1 Snow, 12-6 Lux, 14, pardon me, 5 to KRÜ. 11-5 NQZ, and Big Azera on 5 kills, but he's just not been needed for the most part. It's been a team effort. We've seen clutches, we've seen carnage from NQZ's AWPing, we've seen everything from paiN. But Nouns have been completely absent on this map.
Even when there's been chances, 2 notable rounds that potentially could have been theirs. Couldn't convert, couldn't close it. Snow dancing around on the bomb site. All sorts of madness throughout this one. And Big Azera tapping the desk, getting everyone fired up. They erupted off the back of the first pistol. But if history repeats itself and they take the second, that is it. They go to Shanghai. The perfect world major dream will be paiN's, and they will progress. And with the effort that Snow's put in, he deserves his first major, 12-1. Won't give a damn about that one death, Vince. It's all about this one round. A 13-0 as well. The insult to injury, the potential spice that you throw on top of it.
Nobody could take away how dominant this map has been. However, we've seen crazy things happen in Counter-Strike. Nouns may be down. It's not over until that 13th round hits. They've got to keep in the fight. KRÜ leading the charge outside along the flash. Landed onto Hwaso Peak, and he backed off to the side. There are 2 players over here. Hwaso Peak needs to live up to that name, though, and take a couple of kills with him with that USP. HE lined up as well, as the T's now charging onto the site. Looking hungry to finish this game off as fast as possible, but it is a 1-4 trade, and Hwaso Peak has got himself a second, but KRÜ once again strikes when it's most needed for paiN.
It's that man. He delivers in these moments. Has he set himself up for another one of these rounds? Max tucked in towards Gandalf. Needs to make the bad magician play, split them in half. They're up on the site, and Big Azera got a read on it. Taps the bomb to force the face. They do play into it, but Max connects the shot. KRÜ. Now, this is where he wants to come alive. He's jiggling into it. The energy's there. Pep in his step. Pepper him back down with the Glock. Few shots rattled off. 35 seconds left on the timer to play with, and Lux on low HP, wrapping up from long side as they close the gap. Up close and personal, he'll take 2. DGT is the only one left in the 1v1. Can KRÜ find the 4K and close it for paiN Gaming? 13-0, they go to the Shanghai Major.
Well, boys, you said it was going to Anubis, and paiN did not want to go there. They wanted to go to the Shanghai Major, and now they are. What a way to do it. 13